Everybody says that growing old in your own home is the cheapest, most comfortable way to do it. It's the dream, right? Staying surrounded by your own stuff, in your own space. But what if I told you that, for a lot of seniors, this dream is actually a very expensive myth? The truth is, the hidden costs, the financial, the emotional and the social ones of staying put can stack up so high they make a senior living community look like a bargain. That desire to age in place is strong, but it can blind us to the unbudgeted costs that are quietly draining bank accounts and putting a massive strain on families. So, before we pull back the curtain and talk about the real costs, consider liking and subscribing to our channel, a place for tips that help older adults, and those who love them, live safer, easier, and more confidently. Now let's dive in and get real. The emotional pull of a home is powerful. A recent AARP survey found that about 75% of adults over 50 want to stay in their homes as they age. And why wouldn't they? It's where you raised your kids, hosted holiday dinners. It's a symbol of your independence. The thought of trading that for a new, unfamiliar place can feel like you are giving up control. And most people just assume that once the mortgage is paid off, the house is basically free. You've put in the work, you've paid it off. Now you just get to enjoy it, right? This belief is so deeply ingrained that it stops families from having an honest conversation about what the future really holds. But if you want to plan for the future, you have to look past the warm and fuzzy feelings and get real about the financial facts. The free and easy retirement at home? It's usually an illusion. Let's talk about hidden financial costs. This is where that illusion starts to fall apart. Even with no mortgage, a house is a hungry beast that always needs feeding. First up, routine maintenance and surprise repairs. Things break, and your house doesn't care that you're on a fixed income. An HVAC system going out can cost hundreds, a new roof can easily cost thousands, and a leaky pipe isn't something you can just ignore. Then you have the regular chores that get a lot harder and, frankly, more dangerous with age. Mowing the lawn, shoveling snow, cleaning gutters. Pretty soon, you're paying someone to do it. These costs are unpredictable and can blow a hole in your budget overnight. Then you have the really big expenses. Home modifications. Let's face it, most houses were not designed for the aging. A report from Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies pointed out that less than 4% of homes in the US have the key features needed for accessibility. To make a home truly safe, you are not just talking about a few minor tweaks. You might start with grab bars in the bathroom, but soon you might need a walk-in shower, which can run you anywhere from $1,000 to over $15,000. Stairs becoming a nightmare? A stair lift can set you back about $4,000 and sometimes tens of thousands. Need to widen a doorway for a walker or wheelchair? That can be up to $2,500 per door. If you are in a two-story home, you might be looking at a renovation to add a first-floor bedroom or even an elevator, with a price tag that could rival paying for several years in a senior living community. But the single biggest financial bombshell is in-home care. The vast majority of people will need help as they get older. And let's be clear, Medicare does not cover this kind of long-term assistance. The national median cost for a home health aide is about $34 to $36 an hour. Let's do some quick math. If you need just a few hours of help a day, say 20 hours a week for things like cooking and personal care, you are suddenly looking at around $2,720 to $2,800 a month. If care needs increase to 44 hours a week, which is common if someone is dealing with memory issues, you could be paying over $75,000 a year just for the aid. When you add that to the costs of just running the house, you can easily top $9,500 a month. All of a sudden, the cheaper option of staying home is more expensive than even a high-end memory care community. The financial hit is only half of the battle. The emotional price of aging at home can be just as devastating, especially for the family. When a parent starts to need help, adult children often jump in thinking, how hard can it be? They quickly find out they have taken on a new, unpaid, and incredibly stressful full-time job. Care manager. This isn't just picking up groceries. It's juggling schedules for home care aides, scrambling when someone doesn't show up, coordinating payroll, and coordinating a constant carousel of doctor's appointments. It's a logistical nightmare. The son or daughter who just wanted to be a son or daughter is now a manager. The parent who values their independence now feels like a burden. That dynamic breeds tension, resentment, and serious burnout. And for the senior living alone, there's a different emotional tax, a constant, humming anxiety. Every creak in the floorboards at night, every dizzy spell, every hour spent alone brings that fear. What if I fall? What if I have a medical emergency and no one is here? That isn't a bad feeling. It actively erodes the sense of comfort and security that home is supposed to represent. Maybe the most dangerous hidden cost, the one nobody seems to see coming, is social isolation. When we age at home, our world has a tendency to shrink. Friends move away or pass on. Driving gets risky, and it just becomes harder to get out and be part of things. A once vibrant social life can fade into just a few phone calls or occasional visits. And this isn't just about being lonely, it's a full-blown public health crisis. The National Academies of Sciences, Engineering and Medicine found that social isolation is linked to a 50% higher risk of developing dementia. It is also tied to a 20% increased risk of heart disease and a 32% increased risk of stroke. In fact, experts say that prolonged loneliness can be as bad for your health as smoking or obesity. Almost a quarter of adults over 65 are considered to be socially isolated, and it leads to higher rates of depression and a faster cognitive decline. The ultimate irony is that the home, the place you see as your sanctuary, can become a prison. The very walls that hold all those happy memories can end up cutting you off from human connection that's absolutely essential to a healthy life. In a senior living community, social life is built in, from dinner with friends to fitness classes and events. At home, you're on your own to create all of that, which is next to impossible when you are also dealing with health issues. So, let's tally up the damages. When you choose to age at home, you are really choosing a path of unpredictable, escalating expenses. You've got your home maintenance, your surprise repairs, your pricey home modifications, and the ever-climbing cost of in-home care. All of this while you and your family carry the emotional and social weight. Now, let's look at a senior living community. The median cost of independent living in the US is estimated to be around $3,000 per month. The median cost of assisted living in the US is estimated to be around $5,900 per month. At first, those numbers can sound huge, but it's a predictable number. And you have to look at what's baked in. Housing, all the maintenance and repairs, utilities, 3 meals a day, transportation, and a non-stop calendar of social events. An added benefit for assisted living, that includes 24/7 access to care and support staff. When you add up just a modest 4 hours of in-home care per day, plus the average costs of running a home, you are already hitting around $6,365 a month. Often that cost is more than an assisted living community, and significantly more than an independent living community. And that's before a new roof or an increase in care hours. Suddenly, the financial model flips. What looked like the expensive option, senior living, is actually the more financially stable and predictable choice once care becomes part of the equation. Look, the point of this video isn't to say that senior living is the only answer for everyone. The point is to give you the full picture, so you can make a decision with your eyes wide open, free from the myth that staying home is automatically the best and cheapest way to go. We'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest surprise for you when it comes to the cost of caring for a loved one? Share your story in the comments. It could be the one thing that helps another family figure this out. We've also created additional videos to help your family have a real, fact-based talk about what's next. And finally, if you found this video valuable, please subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.